0 o'clock, LeBron James was helping coach his son Bryce at a big basketball tournament, but he had to go watch this 16-year-old kid who everyone says will change basketball forever. This kid just got 12 blocks in one game, along with points and assists. So LeBron sat right by the court to watch. Cooper Flagg put on an amazing show. He blocked every shot that came near the basket and passed the ball like a pro. In another game, he ran through 3 defenders, bounced the ball off the backboard to himself, and dunked it while people were all around him. After the game, LeBron talked to Cooper privately, probably asking Cooper for tips on how to get better at basketball. But here's the crazy part. Cooper Flagg isn't even ranked as the best young player. 037, the number 1 ranked kid, is Cameron Boozer, and his team beat Cooper's team to win the championship. But everyone left that tournament talking about a third 16-year-old, not Cooper or Cameron, but AJ. One NBA scout told a sports website that if the best players from 2023 and earlier played a 7-game series against these 16-year-olds, the young kids would win all 4 games. So if Victor Wembanyama, Scuto Henderson, and next year's number 1 pick played against Cooper, Cameron, and AJ, the older guys would lose badly. How are these kids so good? 116, well, they probably aren't as amazing as people think. History shows us that at least one of them will end up being a disappointment. You have to look at old high school rankings to see how wrong people can be about teenage kids. But which one will become a star? 20 NBA scouts and college coaches made guesses. And the answer is surprising. But first, Chime wanted me to sing a song about summertime and building credit, with Casey singing about no yearly fees and all the people building credit safely and getting paid 2 days early. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm a serious YouTuber and people will laugh at me. 154. But I'll just tell you that the Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is like a cheat code for building credit. You don't need a credit check or yearly fees. Just use your own money to build credit. There are no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no overdraft fees. But they still have over 60,000 free ATMs. What's not to love? So start building your credit by opening a Chime checking account with at least a $200 direct deposit to get started. Go to chime.com/hoops. That's chime.com/hoops. Opening parentheses 2:27 closing parentheses. They said the song was optional, which I'm not going to do. But I have to say this. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is made by Stride Bank, which is FDIC insured. You need a Chime checking account and a $200 direct deposit to apply. ATM fees might apply at other banks. Paying on time might help your credit score. Imagine that. Late payments might hurt your credit score. Results might be different for everyone. And I'm sorry to any Sublime fans, but Cooper Flagg is a 200-pound 16-year-old from Maine. 258. The best NBA player ever from Maine is Duncan Robinson. So Cooper had to leave his state to find better competition. He moved to Montverde Academy in Florida, where NBA players like Cade Cunningham, Joel Embiid, and RJ Barrett went to school. He got his first college offer in 8th grade, but now every big university wants him on their team. But Cooper is ranked number 2. Number 1 is Cameron Boozer, son of NBA All-Star Carlos Boozer. Unfortunately, Carlos's most famous moment was trying to cover up his bald spots with what looked like shoe polish. But Cameron has a full head of hair and is already 215 pounds, 335. When Cameron was 15, he was scoring baskets against NBA pros like Michael Beasley and Marvin Bagley. AJ DiBenza is the #1 recruit in the 2026 class. He is 6 feet 7 inches and started playing varsity basketball in 8th grade. AJ was like a little brother to Terrence Clark, who sadly died in a car crash right before the NBA draft. Clark taught him how to train like a pro and reach his NBA dreams. But people are already acting like these 3 kids are already in the NBA. You can see why coaches are looking at the 2025 and 2026 classes, not wanting to miss out on these amazing, maybe even once-in-a-generation talents for 14 once-in-a-generation. That's like saying the next LeBron or Kevin Durant or Luka Doncic. Those are once-in-a-generation players. Doesn't the media learn anything? Putting that kind of pressure on kids can ruin them. In 2018, Imoni Bates was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. In the article, they called him the next Kevin Durant. He had just finished his first year of high school at the time. He was supposed to be a sure thing. 6 feet 9 at 14 years old. Sound familiar. But in college, things went terribly wrong. 452, he only scored 7 points per game at Memphis and shot terribly. Eventually, he moved to a smaller school closer to home and went from being the expected #1 pick to a second-round pick. How much of that was in his head about disappointing everyone and not living up to expectations? Could he even have a normal high school basketball experience? If Imoni wasn't the next LeBron, he was considered a failure. That's totally unfair. Imagine feeling like you're a loser at 17 years old when you're actually really talented. That's what these expectations do to kids. 529. But the worst example was the guy ranked higher than LeBron James. Lenny Cook was ranked #1 above LeBron and Carmelo Anthony. He scored 32 points per game as a senior, but he played against LeBron at the ABCD camp in 2002. LeBron ended up dominating that game, and Lenny's life was never the same. Several NBA teams wanted to draft him, but they changed their minds when he didn't show up for workouts. So Lenny had to play basketball in the Philippines and China before he tore both his Achilles tendons and became one of those sad stories about expecting NBA greatness from a kid 606, but are the rankings always wrong? Let's look at the last 10 years of top 3 prospects. In 2012, it was Nerlens Noel, #1, Shabazz Muhammad, #2, and Isaiah Austin, 3rd. 0 All-Stars, and one of them didn't even make the NBA. 2013, 1 bust, Jabari Parker. 2014, no one worked out. 2015, the top recruit only lasted 4 years in the league. 2016, disaster. 2017, had Marvin Bagley #1. 2018, 2 guys are barely in the NBA anymore. 2019, 1 real star. 2020 is actually looking good with Cade, Yalen Green, and Evan Mobley. 2021, another decent class, 651. So they're not always wrong, but those rankings were from senior year of high school. Cameron, Cooper, and AJ are only 16 years old. History says that even one of them becoming a star is unlikely. But which one will it be? ESPN asked 20 NBA scouts and college coaches, and the answer is crazy. Cooper Flagg got 12 first-place votes. It doesn't matter that Cameron Boozer is ranked #1. One scout predicted NBA Defensive Player of the Year, but he plays great on both offense and defense, which is exciting, at 6 feet 8 inches and still growing. They also loved his mental toughness. This dude has a killer instinct that you can't teach. 731. There's a chance. Cooper skips a year to be the #1 recruit in the NBA by 2025, but AJ DeBenza got 7 first-place votes. He scored more than Cooper and Cameron at that AAU tournament. But a coach said Debens is what elite NBA players typically look like: versatile guards in that 6 feet 6 inches to 6 feet 8 inches range that you build your team around. Kobe, McGrady, Tatum, Kawhi, and Paul George. He has the potential to be like them. These comparisons are getting crazy. So that means Cameron Boozer only got 1 first-place vote. 8-12. A coach predicted he's probably an all-star type of player too, but he could just be a very good player. I think those other 2 are real franchise guys. So according to the experts, the most likely to succeed is Cooper Flagg by a lot, then AJ DeBenza with Cameron Boozer 3rd. But the truth is, we have no idea. So much can change between now and the 2025 draft. There's probably some 16-year-old European player we don't even know about who could end up being better than all of them. But I'm sure a kid like Cooper Flagg loves all this attention. Who wouldn't at 16 years old? 847, the NBA's official Twitter account is posting his highlights, but sometimes that attention can turn against you if things go bad. We saw what happened with Imoni Bates and now Zion Williamson. But the NBA will look completely different by the time they're in the league. There are new rules for how a team can be built. It's called the CBA. And you might have heard how crazy these new rules are. So I decided to do a deep dive to see how much the NBA will change. Check it out.